Hello. So, 2 weeks ago, I think it was about maybe a little over, I sat in my kitchen in a full ski outfit with 2 layers under as temperatures here hit 30 under my window because I was trying to get some light. And in the slivers of data that I was getting in on my phone, I decided to look up some information. I looked up the 990s for ERCOT, and I'm going to show you some things. See if that number. So that was about what I added up for compensation, and that includes payroll taxes. And I rounded all the numbers up because, math. And that was a number for other expenses. So that is deducting payroll taxes, which I think was included in their number for other expenses. So you have the number that, remember this number. This is what I added up just about, and this is in 2018 for compensation. This was the total amount of expenses. Again, rounded up because I like zeros, nice round numbers. And this was what they had filled out in short-term investments and savings was this number. And it may take you a minute to think about what that number is because it's a pretty big number. And so the other thing I discovered is that they're a 501c4, which was really interesting to me because I thought they were a 501c3. You'd imagine the entity that has control of 90% of our grid would be a public charity. And I thought, well, maybe it's social welfare, but usually here, when you see a 501c4, it's lobbying. And then what we discover, based on investigations by KHOU and some other groups, is that most of the people investigating ERCOT received campaign funds from ERCOT. And that includes Abbott. So when we think about the numbers I just showed you, when we hear that there were warnings in 2011, when we see the lack of investment that was made in the infrastructure, both when we were originally warned, the several times that we've been warned, and then the 4 or so weeks that we had of advance notice that things were going to get kind of hairy here in February. Does it make you mad? Do you get mad? Because I've been angry as hell. And here is something that I tell my clients. Mad makes movements, right? It takes us being mad to really create that friction, but mad is not enough. We have to think about how we're transmuting our anger of what is into what it is that we want to see. Doesn't have to be immediate. And still there needs to be that transmutation. There needs to be the witnessing of all the trauma that we went through. People heating their homes and going to the hospital because they brought a grill inside. People burning furniture in their homes or stealing pallets from behind stores to try to warm themselves. People sleeping in their cars. We have to witness all of that and then metabolize that so it's not living in our bodies. And there's a number of different ways to do that. Personally, I think a great and important way to do all of those things is to reimagine what energy looks like in Texas, because we've been sold it is what it is. It is what it is. This is just how things are. But it doesn't have to be. And there are communities all over the country, all over the world, who have decided this may be how it is for you all, but this is not how it will be for us. There are people who have decided each of us is entitled to affordable and accessible and dependable energy. That is not a nice to have, it's a human right. There are people who have realized it's not just about electricity and even climate. It's about when I don't have energy, I may not be able to eat. I may not have food. I may not be able to breathe. The apparatus and equipment keeping me alive may not work. My symptoms, what I have, may be aggregated, right? I may not have water. It's so much bigger. And the thing is, these people, they're not climate experts. They're not solar engineers. They're not engineers of any sort. These are people like you and I who have just had enough. And so this Thursday, we have an opportunity to transmute, to witness what each of us went through and to metabolize it. We have an opportunity to come together and listen to leaders in California, here, who have realized we don't have to do things this way. We can do things differently. And not only can we invest in our own energy to make sure it's dependable, we can also invest in our communities at the same time. It's at 5 p.m. on Thursday, Central Standard Time. And it would be amazing to have all of the different contributions and thoughts and concerns and challenges that people are experiencing and facing in this moment. And people from across industries, from across sectors, experience, everyone is welcome to gather and witness and transmute this anger that I still feel and you may still feel. So please go to Eventbrite. It's free. Sign up. You'll meet others who are doing works across all kinds of intersections. You will hear examples of how other communities are taking ownership of their energy while still demanding policy and institutional change. You'll hear how they're taking care of one another and how they're investing in their community. And then you'll hear some specific projects that are taking place right now to do this, both in other places and in our own Houston and Sunnyside. So please, please, please take the time, sign up, and I cannot wait to see you there. Transmute.